Everybody, so this is a low light test of the front facing camera of the Mate 9 and the Google Pixel XL. They're both being shot at 1080p, 30 frames per second, and they both have video stabilization turned on. So here you can see it's night, it's maybe 20 minutes after sunset here in California, which I pan around for you so you can see some of the panning. How stable is it? Get some different views of the light here. Get a back shot with all the backlights in there. So I just wanted to do a quick sample video for you, comparing the Mate 9 and the Google Pixel front-facing camera. Both again being recorded at 1080p, 30 frames per second, with video stabilization turned on. So there you go. Let me know what you think of the video, as well as the audio quality. Here's the full camera specs on each device. As a disclaimer, all photos and videos were taken in auto mode. Let the battle begin. Everyone, and we're back with a low light camera test of the rear facing cameras of the Huawei Mate 9 and the Google Pixel XL. This is both being shot in 1080p at 30 frames per second because that is the point where both cameras have stabilization. The Pixel XL can stabilize up to 4K, but the Huawei Mate 9 can only stabilize up to 1080p, so we'll get a sample with stabilization turned on both cameras at 1080p here. So this is after dark, fairly well after sunset. The only lights around here are the lights in the complex, lighting up the parking lot over there that you see. Walk over to the fountain here. And we'll get some shots of the lights and pan around a little bit so you can see how the camera handles sudden lens flares, sudden bursts of light. So now we just stand still, do a little bit of panning, see how it handles that intense light there. So this has been the low light camera test and the rear facing cameras of the Huawei Mate 9 and Google Pixel XL. Let me know what you guys think of the video and audio quality here. Here we are again with the low light camera test on the Huawei Mate 9 and Google Pixel XL. This time I put the Google Pixel in 4K mode, so it is being shot at 4K with stabilization turned on. The Mate 9 is still at 1080p with stabilization, so you can see the difference between the Google Pixel's 4K low light performance against the Mate 9's 1080p low light performance while stabilized. We'll pan around so you can kind of see how the panning looks. Again, we'll walk over here to the fountain. We'll turn around and we'll do some still pans so you can see how the cameras handle focus and the lights, how it handles any light flares. So there is the low light camera test with the Huawei Mate 9 at 1080p stabilized versus the Google Pixel XL at 4K with stabilized video as well. Let me know if you saw any kind of a difference in the 4K video on the Google Pixel XL and what you thought about the overall video quality here. And we're back again here with the low light camera test and the rear facing cameras of the Huawei Mate 9 and the Google Pixel XL. This time I have them both in 4K. Therefore the Mate 9 will not be having any kind of video stabilization, while the Google Pixel XL does do video stabilization at 4K. So here you can compare the two 4K samples from each phone under the same conditions. See if you notice any difference in the stabilization or not. So we pan around, we'll walk over to the fountain here again. And then we'll take some more video from a still position into some of those bright lights. Pan around a bit. So there you go. Low light rear camera test of the Mate 9 and Google Pixel XL in 4K. Okay, and we're back with one last low light test. I want to do an extreme low light test here. We're in the park where it's very dark. We have the only light that are coming in is from this building here. and this side building here with a very bright security light, and the lights will eventually be coming off the street over there. So we'll do a little walking test and you can compare the audio and video quality here, both at 1080p 30 frames per second, to make it fair. You can compare and contrast both. Let me know what you think. The Pixel XL, of course, is looking a lot brighter, but we'll see once we get onto the desktop. Also, let me know what phones you guys are excited for coming up in 2017. At the beginning of the year, we had some of the lower end to mid-range phones come out. The ZTE Blade V8 Pro, the Honor 6X. Pretty sure everyone's waiting for all the big announcements at Mobile World Congress and WC at the end of February. Galaxy S8 leaks are already out. Looks like the minimal bezel design is going to be in 2017. Tell me what you guys think about that. Any other phones that you might be looking forward to. But we'll check out some of the lighting here as we exit the park. The car noise coming off the street, so you guys get a little bit of audio from that. And a little bit more light now as we're walking with some of the street lights here. But that's just one last test of the low light performance of the rear cameras on the Huawei Mate 8 and the Google Pixel XL. And 1080p 30 frames per second with video stabilization. Now for a quick summary of what I think about these cameras. I'll start with the usual disclaimer by saying I am not a camera expert. These are just my opinions after using the cameras and looking at the photos and videos on my computer. So I apologize if everything is not 100% technically accurate. Starting with the front cameras, the Pixel hands down beats the Mate 9 in video quality, as the Mate 9 produces a very orangish picture due to the street lights, while the Pixel is able to handle these same lights much better and produce a well-lit and more natural looking picture. The Pixel also has a wider field of view, enabling you to fit more into the frame. That being said, the Mate 9 is a clear winner in audio, as it sounds much louder, clearer, and richer. The Pixel, on the other hand, is much more muted. Moving on to photo quality of the front-facing camera, the Pixel again is a clear winner for me, as the Mate 9, even under lighting, blows out the highlights, while the Pixel is able to produce a much more evenly lit and balanced photo. Under some harsher lights, the Mate 9 again, like in its videos, produces a very orangish picture, while the Pixel is able to give us a much more natural looking photo. Now, taking a look at the rear camera video footage is where things are a bit surprising. The same low light prowess the Pixel showed in the front camera turns out to hurt it in the rear camera, where it lights up the scene so much it's actually blowing out the picture. The Mate 9 is able to handle the same lights with its rear camera much better than it did on its front camera, and therefore overall looks more accurate than the Pixel without blowing out or flaring the lights too much. Again, as in the front camera, the Mate 9 is the clear winner in audio quality in this rear camera footage. However, the Pixel is still the champ when it comes to video stabilization. As for rear-facing photos, the Pixel looks much better than its video quality and is able to pick up more light in very dark scenes when compared to the Mate 9. However, in some lighting conditions, the Pixel can still blow out bright lights and produce more noise than I'd like. Indoors, the Pixel is able to produce much nicer and more evenly colored photos in very low to moderate light. Overall, I think the Pixel has a better front-facing camera for both photo and video quality. Surprisingly to me, the Mate 9 holds its own in rear camera, besting the Pixel in video quality, but falls short in photo quality where the Pixel still shines. In both front and rear cameras, the Pixel was no match for the Mate 9 in audio quality. Anyway, that's what I think, but as always, I'm more interested to hear what you think, so let's continue this conversation in the comment section. If you have any other questions or want to see more camera comparisons like this, then also drop a comment to let me know, and as always, thanks for watching.